Welcome to What Crisis? Fully living in your midlife and beyond. I'm your host, Dan Johansson. What Crisis offers insight and guidance on living an intentional life for people who find themselves on a journey of growth in their middle years. Is there a crisis? Absolutely. The crisis of realizing you're literally on the backside of your life and you haven't truly been living. Whether you're looking to grow into a better version of yourself, or to find or strengthen your loving relationships, or maybe just learn how to give yourself the permission to lead a purpose-driven life with joy and grace, you'll learn something new every episode. So come along for the ride. You're a liar. And I know you can't see me right now, but I'm giving you that look. But by the way, I'm looking in a mirror. But for those of you listening, you're a liar too. And I'm not talking about bold face. I swear I didn't eat the last piece of cake while there's a smudge of frosting still on your face as Exhibit A. I'm talking about the subtle lies that start within, that permeate our lives from an early age. When we're young, we want to fit in. We strive to be a part of something, to belong. That could be a group of friends, a team, an individual, or maybe even your family. And it's at about this time that we realize that if we just did something different, or said something, or acted a certain way, that this will be the key to my true happiness, right? So we do something, usually small. We say the secret word, wear the right kind of shirt, change our hair. We act a little tough, or perhaps we mimic someone else in our life. If you were like me as a kid, I stole every rock star vibe I could and rolled it all into one to be the cool kid. Right? A little denim here, a pierced ear there, that fucking hair. Yes, it was bleached, and it was cool. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. And by the way, Jeff's hairstylist mom offered. We adapt. But it's born of a real sense of self, is it? Or are we just being a chameleon? I'll offer that it's a little bit of both. We have a desire, but we pluck from the menu that's in front of us the best way we can. It's the beginning of mask wearing as a way to be accepted. But, like any mask wearing, it's not completely true. We're trying the gray areas on for size. We learn that sometimes making just a little change to what we do, or how we speak, or how we act, might give us an advantage. In situations or with people, it's a very natural thing to do. The question is, as we become adults and begin to live our own life on our own terms, are we really living on our own terms? Or are we just playing chameleon again to fit in? It's why people we tend to call rebels stand out so much in society, especially those that are in the public eye. They're trendsetters blazing a new path, but then again, are they really? Or are they just an amalgamation of everyone they wanted to be when they were being influenced? Let's take this idea of lying a bit further. We've established that at a young age, we learned to lie as a way to fit in, to get what we want. Maybe these lies were rooted in insecurity, fear, or even trauma. Stories we'd tell so everything would seem to be just fine in our really messy world. Regardless of their source, these kinds of things often become behaviors, patterns. We start to weave in little lies that we tell ourselves to avoid feeling badly. This is that self-deception, right? We'll often justify things we say or do because of what someone else said or did. Now, this would probably be a good time to mention Don Miguel Ruiz's masterpiece book, The Four Agreements, but I'll leave that deep dive for another episode. If you're curious, though, about it, pick it up if you haven't. Anyway, I digress. So, we chameleon. More than we'd like to admit. And where else do we tell these little insidious lies? In the mirror. We tell ourselves all sorts of garbage to feel better. We set goals that remain at arm's length, and then take credit for at least setting the goal at all, even though we know we're really not going to follow through. But we're going to follow through this time, right? Right? These little lies we tell ourselves actually get in the way of living, of doing, of achieving, owning our lives and being responsible for it. Because it's no one else's job, nor would they want it. Everybody else is too busy bullshitting themselves to really care about your life. But I'll offer you this. If you take a look at these subtle self-deceptions, and you're willing to call yourself out on your own crap, you may actually start doing things that are meaningful to you. Maybe you'll stop chameleoning as much, because once you stop trying to fit in, maybe you'll realize that you are the badass. Or if you stop telling yourself, someday I'm gonna, whatever that day may be, or whatever that thing may be. Someday I'm going to travel, or finally quit smoking, or fix that thing that's been on the shelf for years that mocks you every time you walk by it. Or perhaps you stop putting off forgiving someone. This is all yours to understand. Often, we lie to ourselves to avoid a truth. We justify. We make excuses. And it's exhausting, isn't it? Wouldn't life be so much easier if we were more honest with ourselves and the people in our lives? Could we actually strengthen ourselves to where we were the example of living a whole life? Perhaps, and stay with me here, perhaps you're the rebel. Perhaps you're the trendsetter. Now that's a crisis worth exploring, isn't it? Well, see you next time. Hey, thanks for listening and spending part of your day with me. If you like what you hear on the podcast, please subscribe. And if you're so inclined, since you like it anyway, please leave a kind review. For more information, follow me on danjohansson.com, where you'll also find a link to my brand new book, The Way In, which is out and available right now.